okay, I've always been confused about this. So Punch is the president. Who is top? Well, what's his role? CEO?
All right.
Owner?
All right. So you know how
I always thought the top was the president until I started hearing Punch's name later on.
I'm put it like this. I'm just put it in this aspect, right? So you know how you got like the president and all them niggas, and you got like Trump and Obama and all them niggas, and you got Queen Elizabeth, like.
Okay.
That's how that works, right?
Top is Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, top Queen Elizabeth, for sure. For sure. He calls some shots his own, right? Snap a few fingers and it's war. Like
and Punch's.
Yeah, Punch has a lot of power. Like he's like Prince Henry and all them, like not Prince Henry, but you know what I mean? Like he's next on a level of power. Right.
Okay.
But so Punch pretty much did the feature. I started maneuvering. Like me, Punch and Willie built this like triangle. It's like, yo, like Punch, what you think about this record? Yo, Will, what you think about this record?
And the question is, why is the president of TDE with so many artists, that are viable, like Kendrick, of course, SZA, Schoolboy Q, Isaiah Rashad, they have a big roster. Why is he taking time out from his real job, of running this very powerful, successful label, to be sitting in the studio rapping and taking the time out on a project that at that point wasn't very viable? At that point.
Now you got to think how Punch works and how TDE works. They see futures that people don't see.
Okay.
So although at that moment it may have been valuable, but when you thinking from the perspective of their label and their branding, they most definitely throw curveballs in this rap game that always strike every time.
Not always.
When I say always, I mean, if you could say not always on people's second and thirds.
I'm not going to name any names, but there's a number of artists on TDE that really haven't had a lot of financial success.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
And I'm not going to say who, because I'm not trying to call people out. But you could go down the roster, and not everyone's doing Kendrick numbers.
But that's the thing,
or
right?
SZA numbers.
This is the thing. And remember we was talking about this before camera. Like when I made my first million, I thought I was lit until I hung around niggas with millions.
Right.
So what is success? Everybody's success is different levels. So I
think success from a business point of view is if you put 100,000 into a project, you at least make that money back.
Yeah.
And in the music industry, just as a whole, just the way it works, is that a lot of times 10% of the projects a label puts out pays for the 90% of the failures that they put out that don't make any money, that ultimately that 10% has to pay for. Yeah. And I'm not talking about just TDE. You could look at Atlantic, you could look at Interscope, you could look at, whoever.
What I meant by TDE throws curveballs and they strike, I mean, they're good at doing they're good at going a different direction than what standard is, right? And that has worked for them as a label, like as a whole. So I would say in that aspect, like a Punch has most definitely always been an artist too. So it's like even though like let's say like I don't know, one of these, let's say Steve Kerr, right? Steve Kerr has a team, a championship team with the greatest shooters of all time on his team.
He used to play basketball.
But do you think he don't play ever again?
But he's not getting on the field again.
I don't mean he can.
I'm saying Punch is getting back on the field.
I'm just saying,
right?
But in this scenario,
the day that Steve Kerr suits up and has one of the Golden State Warriors sit on the bench while he plays.
In that scenario, you dealing with knees, you dealing with body, you dealing with different scenarios. You're just dealing with vocals.
I got you.
Right, but Punch most definitely is outside as far as musically. He's most definitely outside.
Okay.
But in the aspect of that, like we built a little triangle, and I think Punch also was like, he kind of seen something in what we were doing. So it's like, y'all want to most definitely be hands-on. So we worked behind the scenes for a few years.